Never let anybody see you sweat.
So I was born in New York City, and I lived there until I was 8 years old. I realized that I was a much better talker than I was a listener. I don't know what to say, I just don't like what you're saying.
Sorry, Your Honor.
I ended up going to law school at Georgetown, and I was a prosecutor for Janet Reno. I loved it because it was so raw. Were you cheating on her?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All rise.
Our show will be a mixture of education, I think you're misreading the law a little bit, and entertainment. My main goal is justice and the law. That's been my legacy, and the legacy I hope to continue into the future with the show.
Josephine Kim claims she had to have her permanent eyeliner removed after the defendant made her look like a clown. Maribela Hernandez says she showed the plaintiff how the tattoo eyeliner would look, and Ms. Kim signed the waiver.
Okay, Ms. Kim, you are suing Ms. Hernandez for $1,600 for botching your permanent tattoo eyeliner.
That is correct, Your
Tell
Honor.
me what happened.
Last fall, I was at my hairdresser, and I noticed that Ms. Hernandez actually did some work there. She does permanent makeup, she does microblading and lashes, and I actually was thinking about getting eyeliner done, so I spoke with her, looked through her portfolio, picked something that I liked, made an appointment, and unfortunately, it all went wrong from there.
What went wrong?
She literally took 2 hours not to finish both eyes, but to do one eye. And when I saw what she did, it was absolutely horrendous. It was not what I wanted at all.
And what did you tell her?
I let her know that I was unhappy with the way that it looked, but she insisted that I come back and get the second one done, that swelling would be...
You went out with like one eye done?
I went out
I guess you just put makeup on the other eye a lot.
I had to leave because I had to pick up my son from school, so I didn't have time.
How long did you think the procedure would take?
I thought the whole procedure to do both eyes, I was promised would take 2 hours, and that's what I allotted.
Okay, go on.
Yes, and so after the first eye, I had to set up yet another appointment the following week to get the other eye done, and I just was not happy with the professionalism, the quality, the way that it looked.
What was wrong with it?
It was literally, I actually have pictures if you would like to take a look at the references, Your Honor.
Okay. What is it that you told her you wanted? Because I presume you pick from a book, right?
That's exactly right. I have a reference, which is Exhibit B. It's a photo of the eyeliner.
Okay.
And this
Exhibit
is the
B
picture.
for the plaintiff, please. Can we see it?
So this is what I was hoping for. And as you can see, it looks very natural. It's just a thin line that's very sharp on the end that just flows along the lash line. And there's also some shadowing.
Right, yeah. I was going to say, it's not just a thin line. There's like a little bit of, okay.
Right,
And
right.
then do you have a picture of what she did?
Yes, I do, and that is Exhibit A.
Okay.
Now, as you can see, this is absolutely horrendous. I think that anybody who is not in the beauty industry, any layman can see that this is not what I asked for. It's thick, it looks clown-like, and this is not something that looks natural at all. And so I demand to get a refund for what I paid, as well as the fact that I was just so embarrassed to walk around with this that I actually went and got it laser removed.
Okay. What did that cost you?
That was $600, Your Honor, and a whole lot of pain.
And how much did you pay for the tattoo?
The tattoo liner was not cheap. It was $460 to get just 2 little lines and a little bit of shading on my eyes. I would have thought that I would get a real high quality job done, but that is not what I got at all, as you can see.
Let me hear from you, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes, Your Honor. Well, she came to the salon. She was a regular client, actually. She knew my job.
Of yours or of the salon?
Of the salon.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a regular customer, and she knows my job from before because I had other clients that she already had take a look how I worked before. She chose from the book, and in the moment at the appointment, she chose a different one. She chose a different one in that moment. She told me.
Wait, just a second.
She told me that she wanted a little bit thicker than the picture.
Okay, is this, when you say at the moment of the appointment, that's when you're in the middle of doing it?
No. When we just started, first of all, I have to...
So the one she showed me isn't the one she picked?
It's the one that she picked. However, at the end, she told me, oh, you know what? I want something...
What's at the end? During the middle of the procedure when she's looking at it?
Before we start the procedure.
Well, then, okay, but what method do you have? What protocol do you have to know which one someone
She
picked?
showed me the picture.
Okay.
She showed me the picture that she picked. That is the first that
Can we please see Exhibit B up again?
The first that we saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, she chose that one.
But then,
then,
before you start, she tells you, okay, but...
Before we started, I showed her the stencil. Before we started, she told me, oh, I think I need a little bit thicker than that.
Okay.
I always try to please the clients, of course. And I try to suggest her that it's not going to be a good deal, a good idea for her because of her Asian eyes.
Okay.
Okay? However, she decided to go a little bit thicker.
Why would thicker mean that?
Coming up on Justice for the People.
That's why before I start the procedure, I show her how it's going to look. Precisely, because, I mean, it's in between.
And now
me
watch
and her.
this. Did you see that and that was going to be it?
I did not see that.
The stencil that she showed you, did it look different than that?
Yes.
And later,
Did you give her any instructions regarding this heirloom chair, or important to you chair, and the cat?
Yes, I told her specifically this has been a problem in the past. That's why the chair is locked in the guest room.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Josephine Kim, who is suing Maribela Hernandez for negligence.
That's like a fine look if it's not permanent. It doesn't look at all like the other one.
As any other tattoo that you make, you have to wait a little bit to see the final result because your skin is going to look swollen, it's going to look
Yeah, but
red.
that's not I don't think that, when were those pictures taken, ma'am?
Those were taken at week 4.
Right, her eyes aren't swollen, there's nothing about, it's not gonna change, so.
But no, actually that's true. However, I suggest
How
her-
long does, I'm fascinated by this topic. How long does eyeliner tattoo last? Because I know it says
Forever.
permanent. Well, it doesn't really last
It's
forever.
totally permanent. It's totally permanent
And
as
it's not,
any
it's gonna
other
fade
tattoo.
after a couple years, right?
Not after a couple years. It fades maybe after 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
You know?
A couple of years. That's apparently the word permanent means
But
something
also,
different. to
when
me.
you choose, sorry, Your Honor, when you choose to make a permanent makeup, you need to be mindful what you want. That's
Yeah.
why I suggest her to not go thicker because of her Asian eyes.
Right, but what does thicker mean? If she says thicker, why does that mean that all of a sudden there's a very delineated gray cattail? That's not what she said. You know, if she meant thicker, what did you mean by thicker? Can they see while you're doing it or
course.
not really because their eye is closed?
No, of course. The procedure is like this. You numb the area as any other tattoo. You're going to numb the area first. You're going to draw it like with a paper. You need to mark the area first, and you need to show the client what it's going to look.
So did she see that and approve it?
Yes.
Watch this. Did you see that and approve it?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so what protocol do
true,
you
Your
have in
Honor.
place to make sure that you can prove that a client approved a tattoo?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be a better idea if you had, when you do the stencil, you can take a picture, print out the picture in your printer, hand it to them and say, please sign that you approve this.
Well, I'm going to need to implement that case
Yeah,
because
it's a good
of
idea
her.
though, right?
Because of her, yeah. Because
Well, it's not because of her, it's because it's to protect you. If you had spoken
Yeah,
to a lawyer
correct.
before setting up your business, that's what a lawyer would have told you.
Correct.
You want to make sure that there's no wiggle room for the client later to say,
Mm-hmm.
I changed my mind, I don't like it, which is what you're saying happened. You're saying that's not what happened.
Not what
But if you want to be able to show that's what happened, that is the best way to show that what happened. If you are a painter and they pick a paint swatch, have them sign the paint swatch and keep it, or take at least a photo of it. If you are, you know, a tattoo artist and you want them to approve that, then you make sure that you keep on record that they signed that, so you can show it to a judge if it ever comes up in front of you. Or to the client, to just stop them from suing you.
Well,
you know.
that's why before I start the procedure, I show her how it's going to look, precisely because I mean it's in between.
And now
me
watch
and her.
this. Did you see that and that was going to be it?
I did not see that.
The stencil that she showed you, did it look different than that?
Yes.
When it's on your eye? Okay, see, that's where we have
No,
the problem.
that's not true.
What? Yes, I know. Not true is true. Not true is true. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Is that where you want to be in your life, or you want to learn how to run a better business? I think you want to learn how to run a better business. Now let's talk about the waiver. Did you see what you signed?
I read it. It said that I should know about what was going to happen, and that I knew that if I signed it or if I didn't sign it, that she was not going to do the procedure. So I felt like I was forced to sign it.
No, nobody's forcing you. Well, how big was the gun that was put to your head?
Huge.
Nobody's forcing you, okay? It says, I hereby, in bold print, I hereby release and forever discharge Mablean Cosmetics LLC and its officers and employees from all claims, demands, actions arising out of the performance of said treatment procedures. This is what we call in the law a complete and total waiver of claims. And it's not unusual. I won't sign them, but it's not unusual for people in this business to have, I won't get the tattoo, but because I'm so afraid, but it's not unusual for people in this business to have that kind of waiver. But what do you think that does? I mean...
But, Your Honor, this is what I would say is if she actually gave me what I asked for and I had signed this, then it would be buyer's remorse.
Well, no, if she gave you what she asked for, she wouldn't be relying on this.
But she did not.
No. This is to take care of when I don't give you what I ask you for. She is literally saying, let's go back to the paragraph above. What could go wrong may go wrong, which that's what the contract. I understand that this is a permanent procedure. It's not really, though. It lasts like 5 years or something. It is a tattoo. It does not wash off in capital letters. I hereby consent to performing the bit, and then consideration to I hereby release her and discharge her from any and all claims arising from this. What do you think that means, if not exactly what it says?
Correct.
It's exactly what it says. You can't sue her for it. I'm sorry that you were unhappy, but she has, she may not be following what I think is good protocol on the front end, but she sure as heck is following it on the back end with an absolute waiver like that. Verdict for the defendant.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
I just think that it's absolutely appalling that businesses like this can get away with that.
I think you should pick better what you want before you do it.
Coming up.
I heard something in the middle of the night. I was scared, I was alone, it was dark. I went downstairs and it was coming from that room, so I grabbed the key from the kitchen, I ran to the bedroom, unlocked it real quick, and of course...
You have a very different reaction to fear than I do.
You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. June Hoskins says her heirloom chair was damaged after her pet sitter allowed her cat into a guest room that was supposed to be off limits. Robin Stilwell says she was unaware that the cat had snuck into the room.
Ms. Hoskins, you are suing Ms. Stilwell for $1,236 in damages that you say are her fault while she was cat sitting. Tell me what happened.
Well, I inherited the cat and the chair from my aunt, who was like a mother to me. So it was really important, and she knew that this was a problem in the past because my aunt and the cat used to sit in the chair together and look out the window, and she had damaged the chair before.
She who?
Oh, Penny, my cat.
Okay, and Penny was your aunt's cat?
Yes.
What is the issue with Penny and the chair?
Well, she had damaged it before, and my aunt had restored it. So because of this, I kept it in the guest room with the door locked, and I told Robin that it was very important that Penny was not to be let into the room.
Okay, how do you know Robin?
Robin is a friend of my daughter's, so I've known her for about 2 years.
Has she cat sat for you before?
Not for me, but for other family members.
Okay, so how much did you pay her?
$300.
Okay, and while she, did you give her any instructions regarding this heirloom chair, or important to you chair, and the cat?
Yes, I told her specifically this has been a problem in the past. That's why the chair is locked in the guest room. Penny should not go into that room for any reason. I was very clear.
It was locked when you left?
Yes, but the key was in the kitchen, so she had access to it.
Coming up.
I was scared that there was going to be robbers, intruders, some sort of thing, so...
No, I usually call it 911.
You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of June Hoskins, who blames Robin Stilwell for damage to her heirloom chair.
All right, so what ended up happening?
Well, I came home and Penny always comes to the door and she didn't. And so I got really nervous and was looking all over for her. And I finally...
So when you came home, you didn't expect her to be there? Like,
no, she left before I zelled her the $300.
Okay, so you get home and you normally, Penny comes to the door and Penny didn't. And so what happened?
So I looked all over, couldn't find her, panicked, went in the guest room, and Penny came running out. And then I saw...
Was the guest room locked when you went into it?
Yes.
So you took a key to open the guest room door and Penny was inside of it locked in?
Yeah.
So what'd you do? I assume the first thing you did was call her.
I text her.
And you text her what?
I said, you know, we have a serious problem here.
What happened?
Your Honor, I heard something in the middle of the night. I was scared. I was alone. It was dark. I went downstairs and it was coming from that room. So I grabbed the key from the kitchen. I ran to the bedroom, unlocked it real quick. And of course,
you have a very different reaction to fear than I do. You were running into the fear. You grabbed the key, you unlocked the door, you go in there to see a noise.
Yes.
And?
The branch was hitting the window. I was scared that there's going to be robbers, intruders, some sort of thing. So
no, I usually call 911. But okay, so but you were going to confront the intruder. All
yes.
Right, so you go in there. It's a branch hitting the tree. All is well.
I quickly close the door, lock it again, leave the key in the kitchen. The next morning, I leave out the food for Penny. Cats normally don't come out in my experience with pet sitting, so I just left the food out, thought it was a normal thing. And then I had left that morning, and then I got the text that evening.
Judge Milian's verdict when justice for the people returns. You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian.
There's two parts to every lawsuit. One part is, Judge, she did me wrong, okay? And whether or not it's intentional, obviously it wasn't intentional, you did her wrong. But the second part is, what are the damages worth? How wrong did she do me? Okay, so you tell me, how is it that you come up with the figure that you come up with?
I took it to an upholsterer that specializes in antique pieces, and I have the estimate right here.
Yeah, can I see it?
Yes.
Thank you.
The damage was deep. So
yeah, no, it's a reasonable estimate. This is what this kind of things cost, because you have to buy the fabric, you got to pay for the labor. I think it's eminently reasonable. I guess you had Zelda the money, so it's not like she tried to keep your pay and ask you to do this, which a lot of these cases arise that way. So based on what I have heard, I am ruling in favor of the plaintiff in the full amount of the reupholstering, which is $1,236. Verdict for the plaintiff.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $1,236.
I think it's good. This is fair.
I'm sorry I broke your trust.
All right. Exit this way, please. Make sure you grab all of your belongings.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.